Oi oi. Yeah, so this is a video no one asked for, but I'm making because I want to. Yes, we're selling out. Yes, we're making a tier list. Alright, can I help you? Today's going to be a real test on my Veganuary run because I'm going to see how likely I would eat certain enemies in the Harry Potter PC gaming trilogy. Yes, that is a sentence you just heard. I was actually inspired by this Spyro speedrunner Deo Man, who did one for all the Spyro enemies. Honestly, let's just get on with it. You can see the categories here, ranging from immediately going into my stomach all the way to wouldn't eat even if I was going to die of starvation. Okay, so to start off with, the gnomes, because of course. Now, I know some people think these are gross, but honestly, I'm like, it looks like a little potato.
Potatoes!
Also, I'm imagining they probably have quite a high fat content, so like a delicious potato. So obviously immediately going into my stomach, thank you. Next up are the fire turtle things from the first game. Okay, now these look kind of nice. They're kind of like colourful, a bit like jelly beans or something like that. And like turtle soup's a thing, right?
Your turtle friends happen to make a very good soup.
I'm going to say it's probably pretty tasty. I reckon they're probably quite tasty, yeah. Next we have the kind of flame snail things. So, I mean, snails are a French delicacy, right? And I'm always up for trying new things. A little bit spiky. I would eat it, who am I kidding? I feel like everything's just going to go in the top two categories. Next up is the venomous tentacula. So, they're a bit snappy, but I reckon chopped up, stir-fried, bit of soy sauce, bit of sesame seeds. I'm thinking could be pretty tasty. Like, once it's dead, it's like easy to eat, right? It's venomous, not poisonous. Obviously, I'm eating that. Next up are the Doxies. Difficult because again I want to eat it. This has turned into a problem with me, I think, right? Did you ever try those when they were selling crickets? You could buy like dried crickets, like crisps. This feels like that to me. Like, is that kind of small insecty? I reckon not like super tasty, but like fried, I reckon it's probably okay. So I'm gonna say I wouldn't choose it, but if it's free, obviously I'll eat it. We next have the spiky bushes. Bit spiky, bit jaggedy. Not my top choice. Also, there's probably not much like... It's not like the venomous tentacula. You can't chop a bit off and fry it. Like, it's kind of just bushy. I'm going to go with... I think this is not a pleasant tasting experience at all. No. Next up, we have the fire seeds. I just got a picture of the fire seed bush. Forgive me. So these are probably quite spicy, right? It's going to be a bit like a spicy knick-knack or a Cheeto if you're so inclined. They might be a bit difficult to eat, but that like spiciness, you know, that pepperiness, I think that could be okay. I'm going to go with probably tasty. We next up, of course, have Hagrid. Yes, the enemies are not just things that can hurt you, but things that can hurt you emotionally. He sent us out to get those fire seeds. We almost died. He's an enemy. He's on the list. I'm going to say, again, probably reasonably high fat content. So I think frying it, you're going to like render that fat. It's going to be, not immediately going into my stomach, but probably okay. Yeah, I think he's okay. We next up have boulders. Remember, boulders can kill you. I'm pretty sure there were some boulders at some point in the first game. Again, not a lot to it. Bit of a rock. Not quite like a pop rock. Is that what they're called? Pop rocks? Not particularly pleasant. I think all my teeth will be knocked out. We, of course, next have Peeves. Peeves the brat. Not easy to eat. Wait, are poltergeists... They're not ghosts, right? They're not... Can you you touch them? I'm not sure. But I would like him gotten rid of. So as much as it's probably not pleasant, the fact he would be gone, but he is quite funny, isn't he?
If it isn't snotty, grotty, snotty, potty water.
I'm gonna say I wouldn't choose, but have it if it's free. We next have the troll in the dungeon. A lot of meat on this, a lot of meat. Probably quite tough, but it might taste okay. I'm gonna say probably reasonably tasty, because you never know. We next have Fluffy. Okay. I don't really want to eat dog, but it is meaty. Probably. Of course, we have more things guarding the Philosopher's Stones. What about, what's this called? I can't remember what this stuff's called. You know what I mean. Again, I think cut up, stir-fried. Yeah, I would eat it. I would eat the fuck out of it. What about the flying keys, the evil keys? Probably a bit of a metallic taste, not especially pleasant. Difficult to eat, I think, could get caught between your teeth. Deep fried, maybe okay. Again, I would still eat it, but not the best. We next have the chess pieces. See, there's a lot to them, so it got something to dig your teeth into, right? I can't imagine they taste especially great, but if I was starving, then yeah, not pleasant. Okay, this one, poisonous bottles. We don't know which is which. However, we know one is okay. So if I was going to die of starvation, I either die anyway or potentially live. I'm going to say not especially pleasant, because if you get poisoned, not a lot of fun. We next, of course, have Quirrell. Evil person. I would like to see him gone. Actually, yeah, I'm going to say, you know what? Probably tastes okay. But then we also have his evil form. Now this form, dusty, you know? It's just dust. Nothing solid about it, you know? Nothing to get your teeth into. It's not going to taste very good. I'm imagining like pre-ground black pepper that's sat there for like 10 years. You know what? I'm honestly not even gonna touch it with a barge pole if I'm dying, to be honest. Let us not forget, of course, the Bloody Baron. The Bloody Baron. I think he hurts you if you walk into him, right? So he counts as an enemy. But God, I would try if I was starving, you know? So, not pleasant, but we'll give it a go. Snape's pretty evil, isn't he? Dropping us from that bridge.
Late again, you lazy boy.
He's had a lot of potions, which could make the meat tainted in some way, you know. Plus just the general evilness, the darkness, not getting much light down in the dungeons, you know. If he was served up for free, I might take a sample. Of course, Malfoy next. Evil, racing us on the brooms, throwing wizard crackers at us. Oh, I should have added wizard crackers, actually. They would be tasty. Muscle, he's quite young, so muscle's not going to be too developed. Maybe supple, you know. I'm going to say probably okay. Is this video going to get me banned? I do not condone cannibalism, alright? Filch, honestly, slimy, smelly. I don't think even washed and like peeled. No, we're not touching that. Mrs. Norris, on the other hand, probably tastes quite bitter and sour, I imagine. Just because influences around her from evil Filch. Mrs. Norris is probably okay, but I'm going to say I don't think she's going to be nice to eat, I won't lie. Next up, we have Madam Hooch. That's right. That's what she gets for making us fly on that stupid broom. I'm feeling quite neutral about her, to be honest, Madam Hooch. I can't imagine she tastes especially great, but also not bad. So she's going in the middle. Now, last for this game, we have the Void. The Void, everyone. You don't want to fall into the abyss? Good luck. Yes, it counts as an enemy, okay? So there's not a lot to it, is there? It's a bit twinkly, but there's not much substance. So I can't imagine it's especially pleasant, but if I had no choice, yeah, I'd give it a go. Well, that wraps up the first game. Let's move on to some extra things from the second game. We start off with the fire crabs. This one, on the other hand, compared to the one from the first game, not going to be as pleasant. Not going to be as pleasant. The spikes, there's not going to be as much meat, not going to be as tasty, a bit more snappy, a bit sharper. But if it was given for me to free, God, you know I'd try it. We next have the bigger snails. So they are gross, but that's a lot of meat on the snail, isn't it? That's a lot. And this is going to be a bit spicy as well, a bit spicy. So I think, as gross as it is, give it a wash, deshell it, fry it up, roast it for a bit, put it with some garlic butter. Absolutely, I'm eating it. We next have the Cornish pixies. So here's my thing. They are obviously exactly the same as the Doxies. Bit paler blue, bit more cheeky, but they're Cornish. And you know what else Cornwall does well? Does its cream teas. And that's just putting positive thoughts. So it's not immediately going into my mouth, but probably tastes alright. Next up, we have the Bowtruckles. A bit woody, not a lot of meat, not much vegetation. It's like a walking toothpick, you know. I haven't tried eating a toothpick, but I can't imagine it's especially good. So I'm gonna say not pleasant, but probably a bit of starch in there if I'm desperate, you know. Imps. Not much meat either. All these, they're all a bit skinny, aren't they? Bowtruckles, imps, pixies. I'm not especially drawn to them, but skewered, barbecued. I'd try it. I'd try it for free. Next up, we have these mushrooms. These mushrooms a bit poisonous, but cook it out, probably tastes good. I just made mushroom stroganoff actually with some pasta. Delicious. So actually, you know what? Yum yum yum. Next up we have the itty bitty spiders. Not technically an enemy, but it's on the list. The crunch these make when you walk on them. Delicious sound. Absolute delicious sound. Therefore, delicious to eat. Top of the list. I'll inhale them. I'll breathe them in. Oh yeah, warning for people who don't like spiders. Next up is worse spiders. We have the spider. Not especially drawn to eating these, I won't lie. But I think deep fried would be okay. Aragog, even bigger spider. More meat. Not my favourite, but probably more tasty than those spiders. So yeah, we'll just add a pinch of salt. We next have the basilisk. Now, I don't know. I just don't know. Slurp it up like a bit of spaghetti. let us not forget, of course, the Scourge ectoplasm does look like jelly, like lime jelly. That's the problem. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm slurping that up, I am. The snake that Draco summons. Yes, we're counting it as an enemy, don't talk to me. Not a lot to it. We're not sure if it actually exists, because it's kind of magic, isn't it? Yeah, we'll taste it. Next up is the Slytherins in the Slytherin common room, of course, chasing after you.
What are you doing down here?
The most evil, foul, loathsome creatures to walk the planet. I mean, they probably taste quite bitter and sour, I think. But I would like to see them gone. We'll have it for free. Next up, we have the enemy Quidditch teams. Quite athletic. Does that mean better or worse for eating? And yes, we're counting this as a separate enemy. Quidditch Draco. More stringy, I think. More stringy. I'll have it for free. Let us not forget the Bludger. I mean, I put a boulder in this one, and it's basically the same. If anything, it's more alive, so maybe it tastes better, but I'm going to say probably not very pleasant. Will definitely knock all your teeth out. Next up, we have the Whomping Willow. Yeah, this is supposedly a 3D model of the Whomping Willow. I'm sorry, okay. Again, very woody. Not especially pleasant. Potentially worse than a Bowtruckle. But if I had nothing else to eat, you know I'd do it. Next up, we have, of course, Lucius Malfoy. Pinch salt, that'll do it. Let us not forget Tom Riddle, of course. Bit transparent, not so easy to eat, but I'd give it a go if it was offered to me, to be honest. And we, of course, have Lockhart, the most evil of all of them. Forgive me, but I don't know what it is about him. Something is telling me extremely tasty, eat immediately. So up he goes. Is it just the yellow? Maybe it's just the yellow. I don't know. But Moaning Myrtle, she's annoying, therefore she's evil, therefore she counts as an enemy. But again, not so easy to eat. And in this case, I don't think even worth trying, to be honest. So we're going with unpleasant tasting experience, to be honest. Lastly, from this game, I forgot to put the Chamber of Secrets flaming torches, but just for reference, that would be probably reasonably tasty. Just add some salt, nice and spicy. Last but not least, we have, of course, McGonagall, purely because if you keep going in her classroom, she deducts your house points, so she deserves to be on the list. Sorry, she's also being eaten. I'm not thinking especially tasty, but I would try. I would. Yes. Well, that's the second game done. On to the last. We start with these gross things. I'm honestly not into it, not feeling it. Really not feeling it. But if I was starving, next we have the Draconophore statue. Not a lot to eat on it, but deep fried or air fried, I'd give it a go. Salamanders. Okay, so these are nice and spicy. This is the personification of a spicy Cheeto. Absolutely, we're eating it. Skeletons. Not much there. Not much there. But you know, like when you have like a chicken thigh and the marrow in the bone, it's good, isn't it? Not especially pleasant, but roasted, yes. We next have the Dementors. Not a lot on there. Honestly, I don't think I would want to try. No, we're not trying it. No, we're not into it. Of course, we have Peeves in his Prisoner of Azkaban Spring-Summer collection. This one less tasty, purely because I don't like his new sense of fashion. But if I was starving, you know I'd do it. Next up, we have Scabbers. Not a lot on there. Probably not very tasty either, to be honest. We're saying not very tasty. We now have Peter Pettigrew, very evil. No, I'm not feeling Peter Pettigrew either. I would not even. And actually, same with Werewolf Lupin. Not very, it just doesn't, no, not doing it for me. Not especially salivating. You know, no, we're not doing it. The Monster Book of Monsters, in the other hand. The page is quite dry, but the outside, a bit more fleshy. So maybe that has just a little bit. I'll try it for free. And last of all, we have the stupid well that all those bloody pixies and book pages fly out over, those stupid prefects.
Collector's card. Each time you defeat...
Absolutely never eating that. Ever. Well, there you go. That summarises all of the enemies that I wouldn't eat in the Harry Potter PC Gaming trilogy. Yes, I do need help. Thank you for asking. Hope you enjoyed whatever this was. You know, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want. I also have some t-shirts that have just been released, so go and have a look. And yeah, thank you for watching. This was an unusual video, but I just had to do it. Yeah, thanks for watching, I guess. Bye.
Excuse me! Not this time, mate. Oh, don't want to fall in. Think I give a shit. I'm so sorry.